Good morning, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope everybody's really doing well. And welcome to this live stream and the beginning of the new week. And we are in the, um, basically the week where a lot of things are going to happen probably. And I believe, this is normally the week where I think today is going to be the hell lot of volatility, guys. And, you know, as per our last discussion, on Bitcoin. I mean, this was the chart I left with you on the Friday, our stream we had, and this was our chart basically, and the plan is still same. So far, we rejected the 0.886 Fibonacci levels. If you see here, that was a rejection, the 0.86. The problem here is that we have got a very nasty move on the downside, like a sell-off, as you can see the purple candle, and that's tells you that we are getting some sort of sell-off. Now, before we go down to Bitcoin, just want to show you the USD DOM plan. USD dominance similar plan. I'm just going to inverse the chart. This is the original chart. Sorry, this is the inverse chart itself. So the inverse chart, if you see, I mentioned that we are likely going to reject the 0.886, and the reason I also mentioned that, on the live stream, that we are having a 4-hour bullish divergence. The way we had the 4-hour bear divergence over here, I mentioned that we are likely going to see the dump, and that's exactly what we saw. And on Friday, I did mention that we are having a bullish divergence on the 4 hours, as you can see from this chart, basically. That definitely, yes, we had a wonderful bull divergence, which played out eventually. And I do think that the market is going to see some continuation on the downside. The only reason is because the US dominance is above the 50, and what it might imply that basically that we go for a retest like this, and we hold here, and then probably look for a continuation on an upside like this. This is what you want to see from the USD dominance perspective. However, losing the 50% would be, can be a fuckery. Why? Because it's not for the market, but overall it's for bulls and bears. If you remember, I mentioned that one of the price action that probably might play out during the election would be the fuckery price action, and that would be, you dump first the USD dominance pump, reject the equilibrium, and then on the day of inauguration, we dump one more time, take the liquidity on the downside, and where Bitcoin likely going to make new all-time highs. And out of nowhere, we simply pump up to make the wave C. That's going to be your wave 4. This is like a choppiness. That's like the most interesting wave 4 is going to be, and more likely the last dump you'll ever see at this before the pump. Because eventually the US dominance is going in this green box, whether you like it or not. But yes, definitely we're going there. So 3.5 is my first levels, 1 for 5, and then the green box somewhere between 3.4 to 3.2. Can well fill this whole green box as well. It all depends because it's a huge order block. So today I expect some nasty volatility in the market, and looking to the 1 hour time frame on the USD dominance. What I'm watching is this is some sort of ABC move, guys. So practically meaning that very likelihood that we will end up dumping. The USD dominance basically. So if you look at here, what I can see so far on the 1 hour time frame is maybe one more push up like this before the New York opens and the inauguration happens. So the London push ups one more time, and like this, and then New York starts like this, just a wick, one more down, and then probably look like a V-shaped recovery, some sort of a thing. And or maybe simply just give us a nasty wick towards 3.6 as well. It all depends how the inauguration is gonna be. So overall, I think Bitcoin is definitely have reached to the December value area high, and the weekly open is opened very, very good. Because if you see, we opened literally not exactly, but yeah, above the weekly December value area high, which is good in my view personally. So because which means that we got an acceptance. You got an acceptance basically, which brings me that if Bitcoin can literally hold 100k or 100.5k basically, that would be awesome, because what is likely going to happen eventually is maybe we can do something like this, just one more dump and continuation makes new all-time highs 110, and then booyah, like this. So accumulation happens, and then we continue towards maybe 116 to the 141 eventually. Can even go to 1618, which is at around $127,000. But we can straight away dump from here itself. So the top might be in because 886 is tagged. So the longs are quite risky at this point. But if you really want to long, or we want to long, of course, we will go with a very, very tight stop loss. And the stop losses would be clearly, in my view, should be under the, the December value area high. I mean, that would be the tightest stop loss you can ever have. The longs, basically, I really see this chart as what we saw on ETH, If you look at this chart, it's a resemblance of Ethereum, what we did few days back, So it's a very similar chart of what basically Ethereum did. So if you see here, we got a top, we then got a rejection, a double bottom sort of thing, and then one more push up, like making highs, and then the flash dump. And that dump took the liquidity inside this. So this is where the liquidity was broken. And then we started chopping up, pump it up like this, and then out of nowhere, one more down like this. Now, just compare this chart with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just put a very, very similar chart in my view. What we did on the lower term time frame on Bitcoin is, we were in an uptrend. We backtested the support, and then, making up highs, sweep up the highs, and we broke down. So basically, this is what we broke down under. So ideally, there is a possibility we go for a retest, maybe chop, ABC move like this, 104k, and then further down like this to take the liquidity under 97,000. So probably we just going to front from the December POC maybe. And from there, we go the push up like this to take up the liquidity to 105k. So this can be the fuckery possibility is always there. So just in case if you don't reclaim or flip the levels of 102. So 102 is a crucial level, 102.2 basically. Hey, good morning. Hi, hi Himanshu. Hi everyone. And this is what exactly the resemblance I see so far on Bitcoin versus ETH. ETH BTC guys. So here's the dominance. Our HTF plan is same. No changes in the HTF plan. I'm still looking for that irregular expanded flat, maybe irregular expanded flat or running flat, maybe not flat, and maybe simply zigzag, because we are bouncing from the 886. So we rejected 886. Now we are bouncing from the 886. We already bounced basically. So it's like 886 versus 886. Basically, I do think that one more push wouldn't hurt Bitcoin basically. So just give us that one more push, the reject from the equilibrium, and then probably look for a sweep of the lows. That's exactly what AVEX did. Just look at the AVEX chart and you will understand basically what I'm trying to tell you. So what AVEX did is, this was the range highs and this was the range lows basically. And of course, we took the liquidity on an upside. It's not the same with the USD DOM. We did not take a liquidity on the upside. We're still missing that. But once we start losing the equilibrium, we went close to the lows, and then we had an accumulation like a bearish retest, and then swept the lows and then target the range highs basically. So it's like a V-shaped recovery pump, and that's exactly a possibility is also there for the USD DOM to do a very similar thing. So practically a little bit accumulation won't hurt over here till the New York opens, and then maybe a sweep under 3.6 to maybe 3.64 basically would be amazing. So this is the plan on the lower term time frame. However, flipping 4.16 would certainly mean that that's basically, it means that there's going to be bloodbath in the market, and USD DOM is likely going to then go for 4.7 to 4.8%. Okay, but I do think that the Trump inauguration is definitely some sort of a bullishness would be there. We're still missing one more move, eventually that move is missing. That's what I can sense, and hence, for me, one more dip, a small dip, and then like a big pump, making big BTC new highs or something would be nice. But if he failed to reclaim the golden pocket zone, basically, which is around 103.8, if he failed to break these levels, I think it would be a nice short for Bitcoin. It would be a quick one, but it would be a nice short, basically. So it can do something like this, the golden pocket zone 702, short it down and probably dump it back down like this for the move on the downside, December POC, followed by a pump up to the value area high, and then further dump down like this to 86k, 87k. Well, that's going to be like a final dump. So there are various scenarios basically on the lower term time frame I have. It all depends on how are we rejecting, how are we pursuing the golden pocket zone, basically how we move up. And to that, you need to see the 15 minutes chart. And if you see the 15 minutes chart, you clearly see that we are likely on the verge of finishing the 5 waves. As you can see, I can clearly see there's like 1, 2, and you gotta move on the upside with the volume 3, 4, and 5. So the 5 waves are clearly I'm watching at this moment. And so what you want, maybe I'll push up to 103k, a slight push up, as way if I can go there, and give us a bottom sort of saying, decimal value high, retest, we hold it up there, go for the golden pocket. Once we flip the golden pocket zone, would be nice. So if somebody wants to play the scalp, for you guys, what we should be playing actually, the two ways to play this is, first of all, this is your dump. That's a 5 waves, clean 5 waves. And I would not just mess with the 5 waves. So on the lower term time frame, if somebody wants to play, you can probably wait for the decimal very, very high to take some long scalp with a very tight stop loss under 99.7. And your first TP should be 103.8. If this is flip, and probably you should move your stops around 102.7 once we go there, so that you are in profits and would be likely going to have 2-hour profits. If you flip, we can go up like this, just to take up the liquidity maybe. And if it not, it's simply going to dump on you. It's going to stop you out on your scalp, but going to make like 2-hour gains. And then eventually this is going to go for a bust up move on the 96k like this. So this is how you should play the scalp on the Bitcoin. Now there are two possibilities over here as well. As I mentioned, we can straight away dump from here because we got a sweep of the lows, and that clearly to me like some sort of a B move sort of a thing. So possibility is that we might even sweep one more time, to the previous week equilibrium around 97.8, 97.9, like an irregular flag. But for now, I think looking to the structure and everything, I think bidding December value area high would be more reasonable in my view. Just retest of the December value area high and then push up like this would be nice in my view. The same goes with the USD DOM, because I think my plan for the USD dominance was on the Friday to give us a massive pump on the USD DOM, between the dump on the market. That is going to be like a shock to the market as to what exactly is happening. And during the inauguration, you get a volatility in the market, just reverses the whole move, and it just keeps on dumping like this. Maybe just sweep the lows, and then out of nowhere we go for a massive pump, and that will be short-lived because the next downside move is going to be bigger, and that is going to be the last opportunity for the market, because we are ranging right now. And if you look at from the perspective of the opportunities and the risks, so this is where this is your basically the I would say the discount zone, and I would say this is your some sort of a premium zone basically, which means that people are going to offload their bags over here and people are going to buy more bags over here, unless one of the area is flipped as like a support or resistance. If the premium is flipped as support, exit. If this is flipped as resistance, you just go nuts, basically FOMO. That's what I can say. But the flipping the discount zone is not going to happen because we are already too low. And this is going to be the absolute last pump of the market. Why? Because XRP pumped, made new all-time highs, and the plan was to reject 1414, and that's exactly what happened. We got a very nice rejection from 1414 for almost close to 15%, which is good. ETH BTC, guys, went slightly lower, which was anticipated because, as I mentioned, that we are having some sort of a bearish divergence over here on the weekly, as I mentioned. Why? Because we were under the RSI based MA, and I mentioned that we will dump, and that's exactly what we did. And now the good part about it is we are forming a strong bullish divergence, guys. Of course, it's a weekly, so excuse me, it might take a slightly little more time than we anticipate, but that bull divergence is coming, and it's pretty much strong actually. It's like a USA dump, so you can anticipate what's coming next. Basically, in my view, ETH BTC is going to go nuts. I mean, the minimum push up would be around 0.049, which is roughly around 25 to 30% move on an upside from the current price. If you just look at from here, it would be roughly around, oh my God, it's like 55% move. So I mean, that is nuts. So we are getting a weekly bull divergence, guys, and accumulation is happening. So this is not the time, in my view, to exit your ETH BTC positions, but to build more. And I did the same. I've managed to bring down my, I've managed to got a perfect and a good entry with a good position. Yes, I'm open in case if it goes for a crazy wick down, I would be open. But basically, a dump to 247. Remember, your liquidation should be under 0.02. So 0.02 is absolutely your liquidation under. And in case if you can't manage your risk, then because if you can't see a 20% downside, if you can't manage it, then probably you should reduce your risk. If you see that the downside is going to be huge for you, you should reduce it. And probably what you should do is, let's say if you're taking right now 100K or maybe $1K risk, let's say 1K risk, basically if it goes down 20%, you lose 1K. And if you feel that it's too much for you, then what you should do is, okay, take $400 risk right now. And in case if it goes down there, don't add, okay? Wait for it. Wait for the red line to flip, 3634. Once it flips, you add the rest of the risk, but then your stop loss will be under this. Basically, you're going to get the best risk reward then. So once we, flip this red line, then it's not coming back. Basically, it's going to go up like this. Similarly, you won't make 50% out of it, but at least in my view, you will be making at least 36 to 37%. And your downside would be clearly 14 to 15%, meaning you are going to make like 2R minimum. So even if you're risking $600 here or $700 here, it can easily convert here or make you like $1,200 to $1,500 easily. So by properly managing it. And remember, ETH BTC don't have any fees, so you will save the fees on the Bybit basically. So this is the plan for ETH BTC. Bitcoin plan, as I've already mentioned to you. Ethereum is slightly difficult. The reason, as I mentioned, that there is forming a good inverse head and shoulder. If you remember, I mentioned on the Friday that there is a head and shoulder formation is happening at this point on ETH, and we already done with the 5 waves. So what might happen over here is we might form some sort of a triangle basically. I'm not sure of how accurate the triangle would be because it's too early to say, but there is a possibility that if ETH can hold these lows of 3,000 something, we can form a triangle, and that triangle would be good because I want ETH to push up for $3,800 first, then going down like this to 2,700. But it would be too nasty because the blood moon is coming, and you need to finish all these things up very, very quickly. I'm not sure how quick ETH can do that, but looking to the ETH BTC weekly divergence, bull divergence formation, and everything else that's happening around, I think there would be some sort of a triangle formation like this. This is ABC, and if we break out from here, we can go straight up like this to test the breakout and to $3,625. And this is what we are at support right now. The 3261 is your support. Every damn time we go there, we hold up. You see, we reject, we dump, we hold, we bounce. So this is a good level. 3261 is your good levels for ETH. So ETH is slightly tricky. It's slightly weaker. The only reason it's weak because of the Bitcoin and ETH BTC. So basically, you know, from the perspective of the price action, I see 5 waves up on ETH, and now we did ABC on the downside. So we already got an impulsive move, and the move was retraced back. So the best would be to have a triangle. Triangle would be nice, or this can be like a triangle formation like this. So the move would be A, B, C, D, E, and then one more down like this. So we dump like this, you know, for ETH, or if not the strong move on the downside, but expecting a move to 786, 886 wouldn't hurt basically. So that is going to form a wonderful, you know, harmonic, and that's gonna be amazing in my view. Let me show you. So we already bounced from the golden pocket zone. The next dip would be towards 886, 786, 3042 to 2981. If this triangle plays out, okay. So we do something like this. We go for a breakout, and this happens. Now there are two harmonics that is possibility, but before that, let's check out the some important levels. If you look at the H4 EMAs, the EMA 200 is here around 3,395. It's a resistance. We are also under EMA 100, EMA 50, EMA, all the EMAs we are under basically. So the trend is clearly the sideways on the lower term time frame is what we are seeing. Unless and until we flip the 3,395, things are still choppy for ETH. And if you look at the support, then EMA 300, yeah, you are having a strong resistance around 3,550. Again, a resistance and not a support. And if we look from the perspective of the NPOC, the naked POCs, what support? Good morning, Frostbay. Good morning, Abdullah. Salam. So from the and naked POC perspective, we have a naked POC at 3,200, and we have a solid POC around 786, which is around 3,050. So that is going to give you an alternate, you know, motive for a bounce towards 3,850. Now, what would be the logical reasoning to have that bounce? Two things. First, RSI. Look at it. So right now, RSI is likely doing a bearish retest. You see, it's a totally bearish retest. So hence, the triangle makes sense. Unless we flip it, then it's a different story. So once we flip this RSI-based MA on 4 hours, we can long, but no flip, no long. So logically, I would like to see something like this. And a solid bull divergence would be nice for a bounce if the bull divergence forms, or simply go down like this along with the price. So that's the reason one more down won't hurt. To 3,050 to 3,042 won't hurt Ethereum in my view. And after that, we can have a solid bull divergence, a very solid one over here. I'm not sure how this bull divergence is going to form. It would take a lot of energy for ETH to do that, but let's see. But at least the relief bounce is likely. So there are two harmonics that I have in my mind. The first harmonic that I have is an M pattern, basically. So you got to move on an upside like this, okay? Then you dump to almost golden pocket zone, a rejection to 886, and then a dump to 886 would be nice. And that's going to be M pattern with the target of $3,700 to $3,850 max. So that is the first harmonic that we have. And the second harmonic that I'm having right now is another the W pattern overall. So you got to move on an upside to almost 786, almost. Then you got to move downside to 886, or maybe you can get 786 as well. It all depends. And then you got to pump up to crab 3850. So there's going to be a lovely crab basically. And I really like the crabs when it plays out. Crabs, like, they bite you, you know. Of course, they're not so strong as the shark, but of course they are strong. Crab bites you, and when they bite you, you won't be able to resist. So yeah, the crab is likely. But before the crab plays out, I would like to see this as well, which goes in the plan for the USD down. One more push to the equilibrium for 4.16 wouldn't hurt, and similarly for Bitcoin as well. One more dump to, you know, previous week equilibrium or a December POC wouldn't hurt the market. So there are two possibilities over here on the ETH as well. Right now we are at support, and I've already mentioned to you how you want to play Bitcoin. So first, you should be looking to long around December, very, very high for a scalp. Your target would be here, 103.8 to 104.4. If this is flip, reclaim, then we can look higher. The previous week highs will be swept. If not, it is simply going to dump like this. The second scalp is just in case you stop out. Then just have patience. You look for some solid levels to long, which is December POC. This is the solid levels. Or you can also look for the liquidity. So that is going to be the solid levels long, and then you look for a bounce. So there are two ways of playing in case if you stop out. Okay. Now looking for some alt. CRV looks, in my view, good. The harmonic is still valid. The problem is we got a bearish engulfing candle, which I'm not a big fan of on the daily. So that's the problem. And the weekly is a doji, which is like an indecision again. And you also have a weekly engulfing candle over here. So let's see how things plays out. But this is a good levels to buy the dip around 78 cents or 76 cents, even if it gives you a push to 95 cents. AVEX, I mentioned $33 is a good levels to buy the dip. So 33 would be the good levels. Solana make new all-time highs. If you remember my plan for the Solana, you see, alternatively Shark was around $280 to $90, and I mentioned that either this or the Shark, and that fucking Shark played out. It's with the rejection. But then we have a support right now. So the alternative motive for that is we did not go to wave 2 basically. I wanted to play the wave 2. But the good part is Shore had a long from like literally the bottom. And what I'm looking for right now is that Solana is done with this move. So practically a push up like this and it dumps like this. It won't hurt basically. So the minimum target would be 188. If it fails, then we have a problem. We simply go to 135. It's a solid shark. Shark means shark. Basically, you see the box, $286 was our box. Look at here. It was a solid rejection. Even if you play the box, this was the plan from the Friday, guys. Even if you played it, you can check my stream. You would have seen Solana dumping 20%. And when we were here around 214, I mentioned that there are two possibilities. Either we see a small dip like this ABC and we pump up, or we simply go to 245, 250 and then reject, or an alternative Shark. But Shark was more of a possibility. Right now, we are likely going for a support. So on the RSI, so the bounce is expected on the Solana, of course, along with everything else. But the bounce I would like to see this way, like a double bottom, or maybe like a wick to 222 and then pump up like this to 265. This is going to be your X, is going to be your resistance basically. This is going to be your resistance. And if it flips, then we can see one more push up. But let's see, we can form a 3 drive as well, you know, because the volume is pretty much high. And this is like a failed rally. I've seen this on a lot of alts practically. So till we don't reclaim now the 264, things are down basically for Sol. Similarly, gold, guys. Gold, I'm pretty much bullish on gold till we are above 2685. And today I got a nice, crazy. Last week I mentioned the 2685 retest would be a buy, but it simply just went to 2690 and push up. But that's okay. That's okay. This is the plan, and it's following it. So just wait for the green box to flip, which is around 2713. Once it flips, it's going to rocket probably towards 2791. And the only reason is this: why gold is going to push up is because of dollar index, nothing else. And the dollar index is likely, in my view, just look at the daily chart, very much close to topping out, because we are at 702. We rejected on the 702. As you can see, this was my initial plan for A, B, and C, basically. So if you look at from the harmonic perspective, this is A, then you got B, and now we are in the wave C. Either it's done or maybe one more push. It's okay. Overall, this is going to be amazing in my view, because the next thing that is coming is slightly disaster for US, especially SPX, and dollar index would dump probably from 111 to, in my way, the target will be the blue box first, which will be 99, 98.9 is what I would expect. So this is certainly not good. Now the worst case scenario would be irregular expanded flat. So we can simply push up till, maybe making new highs like this. Again, it is less possibility. Why? Because gold is looking good to me, actually. Good morning, Elliot. So this is the plan for the dollar index. SPX, for those who trade SP 500, for them, this is the same plan I have. As I mentioned, one more push up. But I don't think the push up is going to happen. But looking to the structure, we can sweep up, we will push up to 6,100 or so. Let's just have a realistic picture on the 4 hours time frame. Let me just give you that. So that's a very good, it's a perfect Bitcoin chart, basically. If you see, very close to Bitcoin chart. And I have a very similar plan, like a harmonic, because I like the harmonics to unfold, slightly higher. So this is not valid. This is not valid. This is A, B, C, B. So the irregular flat would hurt, basically. We can go for expanded flat as well, but yeah, you can draw the extension to see if 1414 or 161 it is reached, because 1414 is where the rejection is going to happen, more likely. We can reject even before. It all depends on how the move is. Like 113, which is around 6,000 or 6,087. So we are very close. Maybe, maybe we have a gap. So we push up one more time to 113.886 like this, and then we start dumping like this. So what's going to happen eventually? This is the perfect pattern, which is known as a 3 drive, basically. The only problem is the volume is slightly higher. So, but yeah, this is the plan, because it fits actually. It's this is not bullish. This is A, B, C, B, and then we are doing C. C can be two ways. Either we reject 886 or we can go for irregular flat, expanded flat, meaning this is A. There are two possibilities, okay? This is the normal waveform that we can have, like this. The second one would be like this. You got to move on the downside already. Now we're getting impulsive move. Basically, we sweep up the highs to 1414, and we do something like this. It's known as an irregular expanded flat. Can do even running flat like this. A little bit more accumulation. After which a push up to 6,200 to 6,300. Optimism with the Trump and then dump. Remember, historically, market never grows during the Republicans. Whenever the Republicans comes into the throne, the market never grows. Actually, it goes either sideways or it dumps. So if this is the year we speak of, I think 2025 you already have two blood moon and Trump coming in a blood moon, like two blood moon are on their way. This scenario fits actually. It's a dump before a blood moon in Feb would be amazing. You know, sideways rotation, can even dump it back down to 5,600. And with a blood moon, we go for a sideways accumulation and then we can pump up in April, May, June. So this is, I think my favorable is yellow one. I will make it just as maybe green. Yeah. So my favorable would be this yellow and red one. This is a very likelihood scenario for SPX. Total crypto market cap. This can be a good retest of the breakout, the way it looks like, and yeah, it can be a good retest. As this looks great actually. The only point we can say that this can be ABC, or this is like the final dip basically, but maybe I would like to see one more down like this, maybe. And because we did not hit the 0.5, and then accumulation happens, and then we can run up like this. Possibilities there, but the plan is still same along with the USD DOM. One more push up would be nice, but it can simply just dump from here straight away into the Trump inauguration, and then we can reverse. That's also a possibility. Other crypto market cap, similarly, as I mentioned, people thought yesterday that this was the last dip, and today we got another big dump like this on the crypto, other crypto, basically altcoins. They got smashed, and I think this is a very good opportunity because it's a very good triangle basically. That's a good triangle, So there are two possibilities. This triangle plays out. We hold up, this is A, B, C. The D move is done, and this is likely A, B, C, E move. So maybe altcoins, is like a good opportunity, and altcoins are going to outperform. And similarly, Ethereum is going to outperform, guys. Very likelihood. So hold your ETH BTC. Don't give up on it. And even if we push out dump to 3,400 or 3,042, we are going to 3,850. This is your target. We are going up there before any major correction to 2,500 or so. So we won't be dumping before we see this. So this is happening. Maybe even what might happen, we pump up like this. We hold this as support, and we just continue to $4,000, $4,400 because it's like a breakout. So even this is a possibility. And hence I would say ETH BTC, you just have to hold. Now, where would we buy along the ETH USDT? Yes, you can buy here 3,300, but I would say it's slightly have some patience. Two ways to play. First, let it go to the demand. The demand is around 3,042 with the naked POC over there. We belong there, or the best would be to long the breakout of the triangle, basically this green line, as you can see on the 1 hour time frame. Let me just shorten it. Yeah. So once we break out of this green line, you can long somewhere around 3,400 or so. That would also be good. So we're just going to play the confirmation trade on ETH. I won't be aggressive on ETH. Either you give me the entry at 3042 or give me the breakout above 3000, this green line, and we will long. Either of the two scenarios we're going to play. Even the 3261 is your support. Basically, this is your support right now. So if anybody wants to play lower term time frame scalps on ETH, right now what I can see is 5 waves. I don't know what this move is. This is some sort of a ABC, not a 5 waves. What if this is irregular flat again? This might be. So because this is going to be a LTF range formation, 15 minutes chart, 3,850 is our target. So that's like a range. If somebody wants to long or play scalps, wait for it to flip it. Once it flips, you go long, which just stops under 3,258, and your TP target would be around 3,427. It might even reject again from this level. And once it breaks out, you relong it, or we will relong for sure. So this is how you should play. Wait for the flip, and then you go in. Or best, as we have swept the lows, it's like a range, you know. So we just simply range here, like, and then we can push up like this. Possibility is also there. So let's see what we get it. We get a flip. Now this flip, it would be on 15 minutes time frame. So 2 candle closure above 3315 would be considered as a flip. If it closes under again, then you simply close it. No, don't wait for it to go to your stop loss. That's how you should play then. AVEX is my primary target. Similarly, AVE as well. AVE, that was a 3 drive. It played out perfectly. It went to 3,336, dump it back down to the red line of 294. As I draw this, and from there we got a bounce like this to 347. But I do think AVE is looking more bullish than people think. Basically, this is a clear sign of an irregular, expanded, flat, very clear sign. Meaning that, AVE is, I don't know, but this is clearly ABC. Clearly. Meaning that this is some sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got the end of the move, and you got A, B, C, A, B, and a flat C. Meaning, any dip on AVE, if we are lucky, towards 300, 304, would be buy, and the next breakout would be very, very, very wild for AVE. It can literally take AVE to, 420, maybe a pullback, and then continue. Eventually, the target for, AVE is this. Sorry. This fair value gap minimum, which is 477 to 457. So this is looking really, really nice to me. AVE's LTF looks great. Your invalidation for this whole picture would be this lows, 291. That would be the lows. Invalidation, if anybody wants to scalp it, you wait for the levels to retest of 306, 307, and you can scalp it there with a very tight stop loss. Okay, I will give the long on breakout, the swing I want to play. So I'll wait for it to break out like XRP did, 353. This is where I would give practically. But for those who are aggressive, you can take it here as well. It all depends on your trading style. I'll go here with a very tight stop loss under this. It gives me a good risk reward, and my target would be, first target would be 1414 Fibonacci levels, which is where the way XRP did. Okay, 1414, 1618, and 1414, and 886 would be your support. So practically 459, which falls under my fair value gap, will be your target. That's going to be a target. So I would play this game as like flip it with a very tight stop loss like this, and then you look for this. I'm going to play it as a swing, not a scalp. So I'm not going to go with like 10K or 20K risk. I'll go more, maybe 200K, $300K risk. Can make us a good amount of money. And that's what we did for XRP as well. So this is going to be the plan for Aave. Now, Sol right now is, till we don't reclaim that levels, the shark is in place. I just have to be slight caution. Comp, I think I gave a long on comp, a swing long, basically. And the reasoning for the swing long is not with the 4 hours chart, but the weekly chart. I'm playing the weekly. So here we are playing the weekly time frame. The main reason, I mean, I got this swing, the 90% move, it's okay. The main reason is this for my swing long. You see, the range highs, the range highs, the range highs, and the range highs. So basically the buying, buying this, my target would be here, 175. 86 is my, 86.1 is my entry average. And the stop loss is 72, basically. Okay, slight, exactly at the range highs, and your take profit targets are here. Now it's a comp, so we'll see how big it does, because it's exactly like Aave. So if I just have to look at the daily or weekly chart on Aave, I'll show you what this shit does. See? And very similar chart we are having right now. You will see the similarities between this. It's like a breakout of the range, accumulation. You see an accumulation breakout, and like a retest. So from here, we are likely going here, basically. Very much close to those levels, right? So you can say that I'm being very, very realistic with this comp as well. That I am looking for these levels for comp, like a 360% move. If not, then we are looking for at least 100% move, which is 175, like this, which is very doable in my view. So the risk reward is good. It can be 6R, it can be even more. So if I just have to show the chart on the overall chart on Binance, let's see what Binance have, because Binance will have a longer time frame chart. You see, so what comp is doing right now, and practically just removing the green box and having support here. $80 is your support, and I think that your first target would be this. This is where you will hit a resistance, 175. And we will see what it does from there. We need a little bit more accumulation after that. But I do think the breakout is not going to be like a small breakout. It's like flipping up. So the target eventually would be here. This 530 is going to be a target. So it's a very good swing, guys. And that's why I'm taking the risk. It's a swing, not scalp. So you can risk accordingly. And if you just look at the weekly RSI, the weekly RSI is above 50. And we are just about to test the RSI based MA. So there is no bear divergence at this point on the weekly, but we will just accumulate slightly. But if we start losing 70, or I would say $80 again on the daily, if we lose it on the daily, then probably, what might happen is it just wants a little bit more accumulation, meaning it can go up like this and then maybe one more down like this. But I don't think it will happen. Why? Because we are missing one wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit sideways accumulation, and 5. So making this is a very solid risk reward trade in my view. Very solid. So you should have it. Dodge, again, same plan for the Dodge. What the fuck that Trump did, I don't care. But Dodge, same plan. 58 cents is what is coming in next few days. One more push is missing. So I think any dip towards 31 cents to 30 cents is for buying. So that's what I think for Dodge. And the plan is minimum 51 cents is going to be a target. 51 to 58 cents is what the target would be for Dodge. Let's talk about Total DeFi. I forgot Total DeFi. Yeah, the plan was to reject from here and to support. Because we are at support right now. So can't be bearish on the support. Unless we lose the $115 billion, then yes, you have to be bearish. But then we are holding up, so you can't be bearish. Bitcoin HTF, same plan, no changes. I'm showing you guys so that you don't, look for different things or scenarios. Basically, one push in the red box. The red box is my sell-off zone. 104K to 128K is the sell-off zone. The next dump would be slightly bigger than you would think of because the target would be 69.5 to 69K would be a target in April. And from there, the bounce is going to happen to 100K back, which is going to give you a good risk reward and a very, very good bounce for the next few months. The last chart we will see today is going to be GRT as our friend requested. GRT chart, let's check it out. The two things I would like to say here is this can be a very good inverse head and shoulder. Very, very nice. See? But for that, we need to really, really flip this range highs, basically. So we need a flip of 22.5 for this to play out because the volume is slightly off. Normally, the volume should be peak over here and should be lower in both end, but this is slightly different, slightly. Not much, slightly. So if GRT needs to play out, let it flip here. You can long with a tight stop loss there, like this. So you can long above 22.5 with your stop loss under 20.8. And then you can have a target of around, 46 to 48 cents. Why I'm saying this target? Because this can be 1, 2, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2 means there is going to be a bigger wave 3 actually, as you can see in the picture. And if you look at the weekly chart, the target will be slightly gross, if it is not 1, 2, 1, 2, then if we don't reclaim the 22.5, then we will dump it back down to the support of 0.08 if we don't reclaim it, So that's what we have for GR. You need to wait, honestly. The last chart for Atom, same plan. Oh, shit. It missed by 5.6. Oh, shit. Damn. So, say, oh, my God. Did I not give 5.7? I had a limit at 5.65 to 5.6, but shit, man. I'm just going to wait patiently for Atom, but I do think that there's a possibility that it might be bottom, but let's wait for it. It looks very, very, very close to bottoming out. And why am I bidding? It's a playoff. It's a game of range, basically. That's your range lows, and that's like a deviation. Backtesting the range lows. Pump it up. This was our plan since the beginning, so I'm just going to stick with the plan and going to play it that way. So that's all. No, my friend, you went at 5.7. Very nice. I had a 5.6. I really wanted that exact entry, but sometimes it sucks. But if it gives us the dump, I would go in for sure. I don't know. I mean, I had a limit at 5.6 somehow. I just saw on Binance. Then I missed it actually because I had a limit at 5.6 because I wanted to build a coin margin, So, and before that, I need to buy spots. So I don't have spot as well. So my spot limits, I've set it around 5.65 to 5.6. Just need a little bit more accurate entry so that I can get a better risk reward, but I think I failed it. Let's say I'm just gonna wait patiently. But if you look at the weekly RSI, I missed it actually. The weekly RSI is at 50. I mean, it's under 50, slightly a bit of worry, but maybe I'm just, what I can say is if things are good, and for Adam, honestly, I'm not in. So if I'm not in, I'm just simply waiting for 5.6. But what I can do is that we should move our stops to, break even. Because now it should not go beyond or under 5.84, like this. You see, we have a range. So you have a range like this. That's what AVEX did basically. What we may do, we hold up, we pump up. So in any case, we should not go under 5.82. What we should be doing is atom stops at break even. Okay, you can just move it to break even. Now it should not go under it, because if you got filled, it's fine. I'll probably go around 5.84 to 85. I'll just probably go there with my stops at 5.7. It's your entry would be my stops because I missed it. And I think it's a very good harmonic we can play over here. Let me just show you. I hope this is not 7. Yeah, perfect. $786, $693. Yeah, we can look for a pump up to 7.4, my friends. If it continues like what AVEX did, just look at what AVEX did. So we swept the lows. We had a retest like this, 333.5, and it zoomed up for the range highs. Coin margin longs, you can open at 5.82 or maybe even 5.792. That's where you can open with your stop loss under 5.7. 5.7 is very, very tight stop loss. Your N3 is going to be a stop loss, 5.7. Okay. I've just went in on Atom like 50% in because I missed it. So I'm just going to play differently actually. Let's see what it gives us. So that's all what I plan for the market. Just go to the stream for those who missed it, and no change in the plan. I mean, the main thing is this USD DOM. How this range is going to play out is very, very crucial. This is the main thing. The crux, the whole point of the market depends on this USD DOM and how this is going to play out. Because if you look at the weekly time frame, guys, just look at the weekly time frame. We are at a major support, and if you look at the not yet 33 is where we buy AVEX, not here. I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, we are forming a solid bullish divergence on the weekly. We already formed one, but I do think we are likely going to form another one. So push up, a dump like this, and then a major bounce happens. So I think whatever the pump, and that's the reason I'm telling again and again that the next dump on the USD DOM is the absolute last one you will get it, because it's a very solid bullish divergence. It's going to form. It already formed, but I think one more time would be nice because we have an order block. We had a good order block here at 3.65. And what I personally feel is this is going to be the, some sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be crazy 2025 in my view. Let's see what market gives us, but I'm prepared for everything. If not, if you don't want to play this way, I'm simply going to buy and hold else. That was going to be the best. So that's all for today's stream, guys. And I'm coming in probably 1 hour after getting fresh because I haven't bathed. And I just spray something, and I'll be back in 1 hour. I'll be responding all your queries. If you have any doubts, just tag me under the trade questions or chart futures. That's all, guys. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.